I only went back to grab my keys 10 minutes after leaving. I parked in the driveway, engine still warm. The front door was unlocked. Strange, but not enough to set off alarms until I stepped inside and heard it. Low, muffled, rhythmic. Not the TV, not music. Moans, coming from the bedroom. I froze in the hallway, feet planted like tombstones. The silence between each sound carved into me like a scalpel. I stepped closer. The door was ajar. A sliver of lamplight sliced through the dark hallway. I pushed it open, and everything inside me collapsed. Her body, arched, familiar, his hands, her neck, her breath. But it wasn't just the act that shattered me. It was who he was. My brother. I didn't make a sound, just watched. Long enough to make them unforgettable. Long enough to let the rage steep. She gasped when she saw me, pulled the sheets around her like modesty mattered. He didn't flinch, just looked at me like he'd won something. No words. I stepped back, turned, and left. The hallway was colder now. In the car, my hands gripped the steering wheel, tighter than I ever gripped her. There was no crash of emotion, no weeping, no screaming, only a hollow echo in my chest, like the sound of a home being emptied, furniture gone, walls stripped, air heavy with abandonment. I knew I wouldn't sleep. I also knew I wouldn't confront them, not yet. I started quietly. I copied her phone to a drive, installed a second camera in the hallway, one she wouldn't notice. Her patterns were easy to follow. Tuesdays, Thursdays, a motel 20 minutes outside the city, room 106. She didn't even change her perfume. He used my cologne, my watch, even wore my jacket once. It wasn't just infidelity, it was theft of identity. He always wanted what I had. This time, he took it. She gave it. I scanned our marriage license, backed up every message, printed every photo, everything he sent her. Nudes, love notes, voice memos. I watched them from the hallway cameras, kissing in the kitchen, on the couch, while I worked overtime to pay for the roof over their heads. She never looked guilty. He never looked over his shoulder. They weren't afraid. That was their mistake. The DNA test came back in a week. I never doubted the results. Our daughter was his, not mine. 5 years of bedtime stories, school drop-offs, sick nights. 5 years of lies. I stared at her baby picture longer than I should have. I didn't cry. I just whispered, "You don't even look like me." That night, she made dinner, laughed about something mundane, asked if I was okay. I said I was tired, that work was hell. I handed her the DNA report across the table. She opened it, paused, eyes darting. Then silence. Long, thick, weighted. I sipped my wine. I can explain," she whispered. But I was already standing, taking my plate to the sink. Not in rage, not in haste, just done. I invited them both to dinner the next evening, said I had something important to say. They arrived together. She wore the necklace I gave her on our 3rd anniversary. He brought wine, like this was a game night. I led them to the dining room, 1 seat each. A manila folder sat at the center of the table. Inside, photos, messages, DNA test, bank transfers, a copy of the divorce papers. I sat down, watched them open it. They didn't speak, just flipped page after page. Until he looked up. "You hacked us?" I watched, I said calmly, for weeks. "You're sick," she spat. I smiled. "No, I'm awake." I stood, walked out, left the door open behind me. It's been 2 months. I haven't seen either of them. They've tried calling, texting. I don't reply. My lawyer handles everything now. The house is on the market, the car too. I transferred the savings, closed the joint accounts. She's unemployed. He's drowning in debt. I made sure of that. Their perfect little fantasy collapsed the moment they realized I was watching. There's power in silence, more in knowing. And when people show you who they are, you don't forgive. You document, you disassemble, you vanish. They took everything they thought I was. So, I became something they never saw coming. And the hallways, quiet now. Just the way I like it.